Hi everyone, welcome to session 6. So you should have just listened to the read aloud for chapter 5 earlier before this session. We're going to talk a little bit about using that, the first 5 chapters in our lesson today. So I just want you to follow along as I go through the slides. It says, sometimes when we read books, we come to a place that makes us pause, and other times the text will be written in a don't stop sort of way. Right now, we just listened to chapter 5, so we're going to go on to this particular slide, and I want you to look at this very closely. You're thinking deeply about important passages in a book. Okay, so let's pause and think about some huge questions that readers ask when they get to really important parts of a book. Okay, we're not going to turn and talk, but we're going to just keep listening to as we go through these important pieces. And so it says, what is significant about this part of the story? So as you're reading, sometimes things stand out and they have meaning. You may not know what the meaning is right away, but it's something that is significant. And so you need to kind of analyze, why is this part of this story so significant? You also want, how does it fit with the earlier parts? And how does it connect with what the whole story is really about? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit more about these pieces. So continue going down with me and we'll go back to some of these. Why might the author have written this in a particular way, including these details or these particular words? We're going to talk more about that, so remember this piece. And then, what is the character learning about life and about the world? And what am I learning? So you as the reader, you also need to think about what you're learning as you are reading through your historical fiction books. All right. So we're going to be discussing big ideas and big questions. I'm just going to go to your next one here. Okay, so today we are going to learn that when you are thinking or writing about big ideas, as you are doing today, it's wise to lodge your big ideas in small moments, small details, and small objects. And so you're saying to yourself, what does that really mean? Well, let's take a peek. So think about, I'm going to go back to this one. Think about this. So think about when Kirsty said she longed for those pink cupcakes. Or think about that necklace, the Star of David. Okay? Those are small moments in the bigger picture. So let's try to think back. So something that we've all read before, most of you, with the exception, I think, maybe of a couple students, have read The Tiger Rising. And we're going to think about what the message, the big idea was for that particular novel. Remember, one of our themes was to let your feelings out. Don't trap them inside. Okay? The idea came out in the story and was represented with small things. So the big picture was, make sure you get out your worries. Don't keep all your feelings trapped inside. And those small things, those small objects or details that were in that book, or remember the suitcase? Okay, that was a symbol. That was a small object to represent that bigger picture of not keeping things inside. Remember the tiger in the cage? That was also a symbol or a small detail. And remember the rash? Anytime he got upset, he would have that rash come out and he would itch that rash. Keeping those feelings inside. Those are the small things. The bigger picture was keep letting your feelings out, or the theme of it. So going back to what I was just talking about with Number the Stars, the pink cupcakes. What do you think the pink cupcakes that Kirsty talks about really represents? Think about that. Why are those little details in there? Well, the cupcakes might represent Kirsty's innocence. She's so young that the bigger picture here is that there's a war going on around her, and she's so focused on cupcakes. Well, she should be. She's 5. And so younger kids will focus on something different, even though there's a bigger picture going on in this book. It just kind of talks about how innocent she is. The necklace we were just talking about. It's a small object. It's the Star of David. But that Star of David has a huge meaning. She had to hide that from what was happening in the big picture. She had to hide that necklace so that Ellen wouldn't get in trouble. Okay? These are the little things that I want you to be looking for as you are reading in your books. You're looking for symbols. So you've grown big ideas and you're going to link them to something small, to an object, a moment in a story. So you're looking for some symbols. And as we continue to read Number the Stars, we're going to be looking for more of those symbols. They're all over the place. And sometimes if you're not paying attention, you might miss them. And so today, while you're doing your independent read, I want you to look for those small things, okay, in your book, because they're connected to the bigger meaning or the theme of your story. Okay, so as you read today, remind yourself of the different sorts of work that readers of historical fiction tend to do at the start, middle, and end of a book. Use the strategies from the Readers of Historical Fiction chart. All right, my friends, enjoy your read today.